Hello, football fans, and welcome to the reservation at Fairview High School. Yep, out amongst the fields of Sherwood, Ohio, as we are getting ready for high school football on a Friday night here on Hicksville Community Television. Week number 5 of the high school football campaign. Week number 2 of the GMC conference schedule. And the Hicksville Aces on the road and getting ready to face against the Fairview Apaches here at the reservation tonight. It is homecoming for Fairview, and we had a nice ceremony before the start of the game and the start of our broadcast. So they introduced the members of the homecoming court for 2015. Congratulations to all of those youngsters. And, of course, there's nothing that the Aces would like better than to leave a sour taste in the mouth of the Apaches on homecoming Friday night with a win in this football game. Hicksville coming into the contest tonight heavily favored to win, and the Aces have gotten off to a fairly decent start as they are 3-1 on the season. The only loss it was in week 1 when they fell by 7 points to the Blue Streaks of Archbold. They followed that up with wins against Crestview, a decisive win against Eden, and in one of the longest games in recent memory, a marathon affair against Edgerton, which was not only a long game on Friday night with several injuries. Fortunately, though, most of those key injuries, and I don't mean it to sound this way, I just realize what I'm saying, it was unfortunate for any injuries, but the worst of the injuries affected the Edgerton Bulldogs and not any of the key personnel of the Hicksville Aces. That game, as I said, was a marathon and was tied at the end of regulation. Lightning was observed. We waited around for almost an hour before the decision was made to suspend the game. We came back on Saturday morning to play the overtimes. It only took about 10 minutes once they got things going, and the Aces came away with a 2-point victory, 28-26 in the extra period. So with that, the Aces are now, again, 3-1, and they are 1-0 in the Green Meadows Conference, and here they're getting ready to face off against Fairview. Fairview has had a kind of a rough start to their season, but again, it's homecoming night, and these are two teams that have a long-standing rivalry, so in a way, you can kind of throw the book out and all those stats and everything, as both these teams are going to be playing their hearts out. The Fairview Apaches do not want to not win this game. They do not want a loss for their homecoming weekend, and the Aces, of course, want to go to 2-0 and to keep the pressure on because, again, right now Wayne Trace has gotten off to a slow start. They are 1-0 in the GMC, but the Raiders 2-2 overall, and one of those losses is to Crestview, a team which the Aces beat. So they're getting some points there, and the Ayersville Pilots, undefeated. They're also 1-0, and the Rams. So, again, the Aces want to keep things going. The Pilots are taking on the Raiders in what many are considering the big game of week number 5 in the Green Meadows Conference. But we're here with the Aces, and we are glad to have you with us as we will bring you coverage from here at the reservation at Fairview High School. And we want to say a big thank you, too, to the athletic department here at Fairview, at Central Local Schools, making us feel very welcome and giving us space in the press box, allowing us to be here to broadcast the action tonight. I am Bill Murphy, Kate Murphy, Amy Murphy helping out with the camera this evening. Glad to have you here with us. Kate's allergies are flaring up with all the ragweed, so if you hear some coughing in the background, that will be the reason. Aces won the toss, deferred, so Fairview elected to receive, so Hicksville is going to be kicking it off. Salvador Avallos dropping back to do the chores. So the Apaches will be on offense first here tonight as we are just about ready to get the action underway in week number 5 of high school football and week number 2 of the Green Meadows Conference season. Again, glad to have you with us. Our coverage made possible, the underwriting support of the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville. And before anything happens, We have a flag thrown and an official coming out. And I guess they're going to make him back up 5 for delay of game. So they ran out the play clock, getting ready to kick the ball. I don't know whether they were waiting for a signal from the sideline as to what to do or how to do it, but no time off the clock. But the play clock expires, and so they're backed up 5, so the Aces will kick off from the 35-yard line. Avios, low liner, it's loose, and the Apaches fall on it right at the 50-yard line. So the onside squib kick to start off the game goes Fairview's way, and they're going to start off their first offensive series with some pretty darn good field position right at midfield. Now the quarterback, I believe number 4, is Wyatt Puffenberger. A senior at 6'3", 185 pounds. Good player. You enjoyed watching him at Hicksville last year. Puffenberger, handoff, nothing doing. They bring him down. They might have even lost about 1.5 feet. Ace is ready for that one. And we'll say no gain, 2nd and 10. Another handoff straight up. Powering forward and gaining a couple of yards. Get set now for a 3rd down and about 8. Puffenberger under center, dropping back, puts the ball in the air. It's picked off. Oh, nope, it's dropped. Almost intercepted by Trevor Kryling. Kryling couldn't quite hang on to it. The ball hits the turf. Incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 8. As the Aces put a quick stop to the offensive drive. Puffenberger dropping back as they're showing punt. Puffenberger gets his foot into it. Back up, caught. That's by Tunis. Tunis tucks the ball in, evades one, takes off, gets across the 10, and he's going to be brought down right around the 11-yard line. So Tunis returns it back to the 11. So the Aces are going to have a long way to go. Break huddle. Garrett Krall taking the snaps tonight. Krall works out of the shotgun. Hand off. The far side, he breaks free, still on his feet. A nice carry across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And I was not able to see who had the ball. We're up quite a ways here, and I didn't bring my binoculars, so you'll have to bear with me every now and then. That's a keeper from Garrett. Garrett's going to dive ahead for a couple. They make it 2nd and about 7. Nobody with Garrett back there in the backfield, so they're going to unload it off the hands of Peyton Tunis and incomplete. Tunis went out to that 1st down marker, turned around to catch the ball just a little too hot off his hands. Incomplete. That'll make it 3rd and 7. Fuller now the lone back by Kroll. 2 wide receivers out on either side of the line. Hard count, but they get back in time. Man in motion, that's Tunis. Tunis shifts over to the far side. Snap. It's a rollout. Garrett keeps the ball. Kroll out across the 35-yard line. He'll be close to first down yardage, but I don't think he quite made it. That'll make it 4th and about a yard. Need to get to the 41, or the 36 rather. The ball resting on the 35. Aces showing that they're going to go for it. Kroll straight ahead, and that should be good enough for the first down. On the quarterback keeper, it looks like Garrett Kroll's going to move the chains. He does. 1st and 10 for the Aces. $9:20 to go here in quarter number 1. Aces with the ball. Handoff to Dylan Fuller. Fuller trying to turn the corner. Doesn't quite make it. Gets back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe an extra yard. That'll make it 2nd and 8. So give a couple to Fuller. Snap. And again, a handoff to Fuller from Kroll. Fuller across the 40, 45, 50. A flag is thrown in the backfield. Fuller gets tied up from the ankle and dragged out of bounds after he crosses the 50-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is. And that's going to probably be a hold based on where they threw the flag. Yep, and it's a spot foul, so the hold occurring at about the 40-yard line. Back him up 10. That'll move him all the way back to the 30, where it'll be 2nd and about 17. So Aces get across midfield, shoot themselves in the foot with a holding call. Getting the word from the sideline. The whistles blow. And nope, no, they're stopping it still. Now they're going to start it up again. All right. Snap to Kroll. He rolls out. Garrett puts the ball in the air. It's caught on the far sideline. I think that was Lyset making the grab over on the far sideline. Yep, Travis Lyset makes the grab, and he gets back the lost yardage and a few more, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7. Oh, they're saying 2nd down and about 7. And that should be a 1st down carry for Kroll. So we will move the chains, and it'll be 1st and 10 Aces from the 48-yard line. And Fairview calling a timeout. So the Apaches not liking what they're seeing, and they're calling the first timeout of the game, and their first of 3 for the first half. They'll huddle up on the sidelines. Timeout call, 7:47 left to go here in quarter number 1. No score yet in the contest. Aces looking good on offense. They've been moving down the field easily. The one holding call backing them up, but again, a nice catch by Travis Lyset of a Garrett Kroll pass. Pretty much wiped out that deficit. And when the timeout ends, it'll be 1st and 10 Aces again from their own 48-yard line. Officials conferring real quickly. breaking the huddle. And here come the Apaches on defense. Again, homecoming night for Fairview here at the reservation. Sort of a fun weekend for all of the kids here. They've got their big dance coming up tomorrow night. And we're going to have another whistle. And again, the officials trying to get things squared away here. There have been a lot of these little stop and goes here tonight. And that's because we have lost the scoreboard. Okay. From our angle here in the press box, we have to kind of lean over to see the scoreboard. And I think that the officials are either waiting to see if the scoreboard is going to come back to life, or they'll have to get things set to be able to keep track of things manually. And now the scoreboard has gone completely dark. Now they've got the down and the yard information. So we'll be in a bit of a holding pattern here till they get it figured out. So they've decided that they're keeping time manually on the field, so we'll just have to rely on them. Handoff to Fuller. Fuller works his way through traffic, gets it into Apache's territory, scurries across the 30-yard line, and he'll be knocked out of bounds over on the far side at about the 30. Looks like they're going to mark him down at about the 28 of the Apaches. That'll move the chains. Another 1st and 10 for Hicksville. Crawl. Hand off to Fuller again. Fuller powers straight ahead across the 25 down to about the 24. That'll be a gain of 4 and make it 2nd and 6. They're going to put him down right on the 25-yard line. So the Aces closing in on the red zone as they've used up a lot of clock and had control of the ball for the Lions' share of this first quarter. Snap to Crawl. Crawl handing it off to Tunis. Tunis trying to get free, nothing doing. He's going to get dropped in the backfield for a loss back to the 27-yard line. So back the Aces up, make it 3rd and about 9 now. I'll make it 3rd and 8. Snap to Crawl. Garrett rolling out. Looking downfield, puts the ball in the air. Off the hands of Lyson on the sideline. That's going to bring up 4th down. This deep in Apache territory, Aces probably are going to go for it. That's been the way they've been doing it all year long. Garrett takes the snap, dropping back to throw again. Looking downfield again. Caught, intercepted. Number 17. Excuse me, that's number 47. Timmy Timbrook makes the interception, and Timbrook returns out to the 30. Well, let's see, it looks like about the 38-yard line for the Apaches. So the Aces get down within striking distance, but then turn the ball over. They're going to officially mark it at the 38-yard line, 1st and 10 Apaches. Timbrook, again with the INT, the first turnover of the game, goes Fairview's way. They do have the scoreboard back to life, and it's indicating 5:53. I think that they're double-checking that. Puffenberger drops back, hands it off. carry by number 23, Austin Meyer. Meyer gets up to about the 47-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. And it's going to be a hold against the Apaches. And they'll mark it 10 from the spot of the foul, which will move it back to the 33-yard line. So that'll be 1st and 15 now for the Apaches. Puffenberger with the handoff to number 36, Riley Heater. And Heater gets 3, make it 2nd and 12. Puffenberger coming over to the sideline to get the play. Heads back out to the huddle. Apaches come up to the line, facing a 2nd and 12. Puffenberger's going to work under center. Wyatt's going to hang on to the ball and power it forward, and it's going to get close to the 40-yard line to make it 3rd and about 8. That center of the line not opening up for Puffenberger. He had nowhere to go. Ace is collapsing in on him for a minimal gain. Pickup of about 4 on the play. So 3rd down for the Apaches. Puffenberger rolling out. Drops back. He's in trouble. He needs to get rid of it. He does. It's going to be thrown out of bounds. Puffenberger being chased by a couple of aces, and he had no choice. It was either throw the ball or take the sack. He unloads, and that brings up 4th and long for the Apaches. And the aces switch personnel, and they get ready to receive a punt. Looks like Fuller and Tunis dropping back deep for the aces. Puffenberger, of course, also handling the punting chores. It's a high, short punt. And it's going to take a nice Apache roll, and they're going to down it at about the 22-yard line. So Puffenberger, a short punt, but a nice bounce and roll afterwards with lots of Apaches around it, so none of the aces were going to take the chance of touching that ball. And Fairview downs it at about the 22-23-yard line, and that's where Hicksville will set up shop for this offensive series. 3:44 to go in quarter number 1. Again, Kroll working out of the shotgun. Quick throw. Tunis makes the grab. Payton off to the races. Finally, they grab him around the ankle when he gets out to about the 33, 34-yard line and drag him down. They're going to mark him down at the 34. And it'll be good enough for a 1st down. Nice catch and run for Payton Tunis. Kroll. And again, a pitch out to Tunis, and again, Payton takes off across the 40, 45, cuts back in towards the center of the field and gets dragged down at the 50-yard line for another 1st down. So twice in a row. Tunis moves the chains. And This time over on the other side of the field, but they're waiting for him this time, and as soon as he catches the ball, he gets wrapped up. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. So 2nd and 10 now for the Aces. It's essentially the same play. They just switched sides of the field. Crawl. Going to hang on to it himself. He's in trouble, and Garrett's going to get sacked for a loss of about 3. Bring up 3rd and about 13 for the Aces. Well, they're going to say a 2-yard loss, so 3rd and 12 for Hicksville. Garrett takes the snap, hands off. Fuller powering forward. He's going to pick up about 5 to make it 3rd and about 7, or 4th and about 7. And they're going to switch some personnel. Nyhart's back there, so it looks like the Aces might be going to punt this time. Try to put the Apaches back in a hole. Nyhart gets his leg into it. Nice punt. Way back, caught by number 23 for the Apaches. He misses a first tackler. Flag is thrown. Meyer carries it out to about the 25-yard line. But again, there's a flag on the play. And that's going to be against the Apaches. So they're marking the ball initially at the 26-yard line. All right. So 1st and 10 for Fairview at the 26-yard line. Puffenberger pitch out to Timbrook. Timbrook managing to get out to about the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3. Make it 2nd and 7. Well, we'll give him 4. So 2nd and 6. Puffenberger getting a hand off to Timbrook. And Timbrook, first down yardage. He takes it out to about the 42-yard line. So the Aces unable to prevent Fairview from picking up a couple of first downs and moving right down the field. Puffenberger handing off. And another nice run. And again, that was Meyer, number 23, taking it into Aces territory as he's brought down at the Hicksville 49-yard line. As we are down to the closing seconds of the first quarter. And that might well have been the end of the first quarter. 3, 2, 1. And that will be the end of the first quarter with no score, 0-0 here at the reservation at Fairview High School. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the second quarter action for you right here on HIX-TV. And so while we've got a break between quarters here, We'll take some time to say a big thank you, as we always do, to our football broadcast underwriters here on Hicksville Community Television. That, of course, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, both the Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford. Lend us their support. They're the ones who make it possible for us to go on the road and cover the away games for the Aces during the regular season. And, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, but postseason as well. And we always like to say, if you're in the market for a vehicle, brand spanking new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by, check out the great selection on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, or check out their entire inventory online at jimschmidtauto.com. Second quarter getting ready to get started. And again, it's second down for the Fairview Apaches at the Aces 49-yard line. Only need to go a yard to move the chains. And here we go. Aces square off defensively. Apaches break huddle. Puffenberger under center. Wyatt, quarterback keeper, powers ahead. That should be good enough to move the chains. Needed one, and it looks like Wyatt got him close to 3. So put the ball on the 46-yard line, first and 10 Apaches. Fairview. Fresh set of downs. Puffenberger. Quick handoff, I believe, to Timbrook, and not much going there. Might have picked up a couple. Timbrook gets him 2. That'll make it 2nd and 8. Puffenberger under center once again. And again, hand off. And again, not much. Might have made it back to the line of scrimmage. And that was to Heater. Number 36, Riley got the call. And that makes it 3rd and 8. Puffenberger will bring in the play. Apaches taking their time. 10:27 left to go before halftime. In no rush, no score in the game. Puffenberger rolling out. Nowhere to go. He might have gotten a couple, but he gets knocked out of bounds, and it looks like they're going to, well, we'll see where they mark it. I think it's about the 42-yard line. Nope, not even that. Closer to the 43, so Wyatt picks up a yard and brings up 4th and 7. And the Apaches get ready to punt it away again. Puffenberger. Punt, fair caught at about the 19-yard line. So Peyton Tunis makes the fair catch, and it'll be Aces football, 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. They'll have 81 yards to go to put some points on the board. And that's something nobody has done yet tonight. As we mentioned during the pregame, Aces came in heavily favored to win this evening, but so far the Apaches been holding their own, and we kind of expected that too. Again, it's homecoming weekend, and it's a long-standing rivalry between these schools, so they always play each other pretty tough. Garrett Kroll going to work out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers on the far side of the field, 1 close towards us. Kroll puts the ball in the air, and incomplete. Hostetler almost had to become a defender there to make sure that the ball wasn't picked off. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Kroll takes a snap, hands off to Fuller. Fuller almost shakes a tackle, but they get him around the ankles. He gets out to about the 22-yard line, maybe the 23. A lot of people going through the press box up here at Fairview High School. Kroll. Again, handoff to Fuller. Fuller bounces off one tackle. He breaks free. Fuller almost gets through the secondary, out close to the 40-yard line. Brought down at about the 38, but that's going to move the chains and keep the offensive series going. The Aces will get a fresh set of downs. They're going to mark him down at the 39-yard line. Nice carry from Fuller. Again, Kroll to Fuller. And Fuller, maybe a yard. Just across the 40-yard line. Make it 2nd and 9 for Hicksville. Kroll's going to work out of the shotgun yet again. And this time Garrett's going to hang on to the ball himself, dives forward, gets to about the 43-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 7. The Aces just looking for that one play that's going to break them loose. Haven't been able to hit it yet. Hand off to Fuller. Fuller breaks through. He's loose. This could be it. Fuller across the 20. Fuller to the 10. He's wrestled down, I think just inside or right at the 10-yard line. Dylan Fuller. And there is a flag. So we'll see what happens. The referee's making sure we know there is a flag on the play. They've got Dylan marked down at the 9-yard line at this point, so we'll see what the official word is. Oh, they waved the flag off. Okay, so there is no flag on the play. The official's waving the flag off. So 1st and goal for the Aces. Hand off. Fuller might have got a yard. 2nd and goal. So Kroll, pitch back, cuts inside. Tunis gets down to about the 7-8 yard line. That'll make it 3rd and goal. So Tunis gets him a couple yards closer. They're still 7 yards away from Paydirt. 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line for the Aces. Kroll hangs onto it himself, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hicksville. 7 yards out, quarterback keeper Garrett Kroll puts the Aces on top 6-0 and breaks the scoring ice on this Friday night. And now, of course, we'll wait and see whether the Aces are going to bring out Avios to attempt the extra point or if they're going to go for 2. Looks like they're going for 2. Kroll rolling out, puts the ball in the air, and it's caught. It's good. I was wondering to see. It looked like he made the grab, but it was wanting to see if he was going to make it all the way down without losing possession, and he does. Fuller makes the catch and gets the 2-point conversion, and the Aces go up 8-0 with 7:05 to go before halftime here at the reservation in Hicksville. So the Aces finally getting things to work offensively. They'd been moving the ball pretty well, but they were kind of Well, they sputtered out a few times, and you could tell they were kind of looking for that one big play that would sort of break the rust off and get things really going on all 8 cylinders. And Dylan Fuller and Peyton Tunis were able to do that on this drive with a couple of nice offensive plays, especially a huge gain by Fuller down inside the 10-yard line to give the Aces a 1st and goal. They capitalize on it. And again, Kroll runs it in from 7 yards out, and Fuller makes the grab for the 2-point conversion, and the Aces are up 8-0 as Avios is going to tee it up and get ready to kick off to the Apaches. Avios. Low liner. It bounces off one of the up men. I think he managed to fall on it. That's kind of what the Aces were hoping for every time they kick the ball like that somebody's going to mishandle it. And every now and then they luck out and they are able to recover and get right back on offense with great field position. Not the case this time. The Apaches managed to hang on to it. And they'll start 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. So here's another situation where, again, Hicksville's going to be looking to hopefully get the stop and get it quickly. They'd like a 3-and-out here and be able to get the ball back. They like to get that 2-score cushion. And the whistles blow before anything happens there. They throw the flag, and it's going to be a false start, and that'll back the Apaches up 5. Really not a lot of penalties so far in this game. We've had this false start, a couple of holding calls and so forth, but for the most part, been playing pretty clean on both sides of the ball. Puffenberger, handoff on the inside, nope. Might have gotten a couple, but Tim Brook doesn't make it back. Doesn't get the 5 back, and that'll make it 2nd and 13. Puffenberger puts it in the air, knocked down. Nice play. That's number 81, Trevor Kryling, again with a good defensive play. Slaps that ball to the turf, and that makes it 3rd and 13. So the Aces doing what they wanted to do defensively here, and they've got the Apaches with a 3rd and long. Puffenberger again dropping back to throw. This time the ball's caught, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds shy of the 1st down. It's going to be at about the 47, 48-yard line of the Apaches. Looks like the 47, where it'll be 4th and about 6. Correct myself, 4th and 5. So 4th and 5, ball on their own 47-yard line. We'll see what the Apaches want to do here. 6 minutes away from halftime, and yep, they're going to go for it. Or they might be trying the hard count, see if they can get the Aces to jump. And there's the flag. And they might have tried a little too hard to get the Aces to jump, and they false start, and that backs them up 5, so now they're facing 4th and 10. You're going to do the hard count. You got to remember you can't move. And nice and pretty obvious as he was doing it. Puffenberger shifted his feet just a little bit, and that drew the flag. So now Wyatt's going to drop back to punt. The Aces are going to hopefully get some pretty good field position here. Wyatt puts the ball in the air. It's a short kick, and it's going to die at about the 34-yard line. So that's where the Aces will set up shop. Short punt from Puffenberger, dies at the 34, and it'll be Aces ball, 1st and 10. Back on offense. 6:14 to go before halftime. Looking forward to both the Aces Pride Band making the trip over to Fairview from Hicksville, and the Apaches Marching Band getting ready to entertain at halftime. Crawl. That's still over 6 minutes away. Handoff. Tunis gets maybe a yard to the 35 before he's stopped. Peyton Tunis gets him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Crawl again. Takes the snap. Garrett rolling out. Going to hang on to it himself. Flag thrown in the backfield. Garrett's off to the races, but it might be because somebody held, and that made it easy for him to get down into the end zone. So Crawl scampers into the end zone, but we'll wait and see. It's going to be a hold against the Aces, so it's a long walk back for Garrett. I said he broke through pretty easily, and that's probably the result of a hold in the backfield. So they'll back up 10 from the spot of the foul. So it'll still be 2nd down, but instead of 2nd down and 8 from the 37-yard line, it's now going to be 2nd down and a long way from the 28-yard line. Second and 21 for the Aces. They're back farther than they started with the kick after the punt. Crawl, spin move, might get to the 20. That's another loss. So that'll make it 3rd and a country mile. It looks like 3rd and 24 from here. So the Aces with a 3rd and very long. Garrett rolling back, looking to throw. Gets it out. Nothing doing there. I couldn't tell if that was Greer or Hostetler that made the grab. I think it was Greer, number 7. And that'll bring out Mr. Neihart to punt this one away. And we're going to have another whistle and a Fairview Apache timeout. So on about a 4th and 20, 4:14 to go before halftime, I'll let Logan Neihart think about this kick, and the Apaches are going to work on what they want to do. I'm sure that they want to get some points on the board, and they'd love to be able to tie this game up going into the locker room. This would be the time to block the kick, indeed. So Logan Neihart dropping back for the punt. And here come the Apaches. couple of Fairview players back deep. Nyhart gets his foot into it. Ball goes over the head of the down man, and it's going to be fallen on by the Aces back at about the 14-yard line. So another nice punt from Logan Nyhart and a great roll. It goes over the head of the down man, and by the time he got back to where the ball was, the Aces special teams were breathing down his neck, so he wisely made sure he didn't make contact with the ball and let the Aces down it. Again at the Fairview 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Apaches. Huffenberger pitches it back. That's to Timbrook. Timbrook out close to the 30-yard line, maybe a little past it. He's driven out of bounds. Looks like at about the 31. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. So Apaches with a 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line after a nice run from Timbrook. Again, a handoff up the middle. This time the Aces are waiting for it. Might have gotten a couple yards. Make it 2nd and 8. Well, closer to a pickup of 3, so we'll say 2nd and 7. Huffenberger looking things over. Again, a pitch back to Timbrook. Timbrook looking to turn the corner, and he's going to be brought down about the 40-yard line. That's going to be a couple yards shy of 1st down yardage. That'll make it 3rd and 2. On 3rd down play. And that's good for the 1st down as Timbrook gets close to midfield. He'll move the chains. We'll see where they mark him down. I think it's going to be at about the 48-yard line. It is. So credit the Fairview Apaches offense. They started out on their own 14, and now they've made it out to the 48-yard line. Looking to put some points on the board before the intermission. Huffenberger, again a handoff. Gets out to about the 49-yard line before he's going to be smacked and driven back. They're going to put him down at the 50. 2 minutes to go before halftime. It's a 2nd and 8 for the Apaches at midfield. Huffenberger pitching back to Timbrook. Timbrook's in trouble. He manages to evade one tackle. Squirts up the sideline. Good job. I thought they had him behind the line of scrimmage, but he's able to get himself out across the 45-yard line, and he's going to move the chains. As a matter of fact, they're going to give him credit for a 1st down as he gets out to the Aces 43. Excuse me, the Aces 42. So it'll be 1st and 10 Apaches now in Hicksville territory. Clock ticks down to 90 seconds. They're keeping it on the ground, so the clock stopping for the out of bounds, but keeping it rolling. Again, a handoff, powering down to about the 39-yard line. Again, that's Timbrook with the carry. Check that. I believe it might have been Heater. Second down for Fairview. Puffenberger tries to pass it. It's batted away. Incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock with a minute 6. And bring up third down and 7. Fairview talking things over. They don't have a lot of time to work with. They can only stop. They've got one timeout remaining, so they could stop the clock one more time if they need to. If they don't get out of bounds or incomplete a pass. Handoff. He breaks through. Could be trouble. Oh. And the touchdown is saved at the last minute. Aces managed to corral him. That was Meyer with the carry. And Austin was off to the races, gets down to the 20-yard line before they get him around the ankles. Clock continues to roll. 55 seconds. Puffenberger pitching back. And he's going to get Timbrook out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. That's a couple short of the first down. But we've got a flag on the play. So we'll see what that's all about. And that's going to be a hold against the Apaches. Ouch. They didn't need that. That's going to back them all the way up to the 28-yard line now, where it's going to be first and long. 18 yards away from moving the chains just inside the 10-yard line. So Puffenberger's going to drop back and work out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Timbrook. Timbrook gets pounded back at about the 23-yard line. And I'm going to say the 24. That'll make it second and about 13. And they're going to use their final timeout. They're at 27 seconds before halftime. Then the Apaches dealing with a 2nd and 14 when we come out of the timeout. I said they do not want to go into the halftime locker room with a deficit if they can help it. Down by 8. And again, a game that we're going to be we've been moving a lot up and down the field, but not a lot of scoring. Hicksville Aces lead 8-0. Looking to close out the half with that 8-point advantage, and they will get the ball to start the third quarter. And Fairview again using its final timeout here on this 2nd and 14 play. They need to get just inside the 10-yard line to get a first down. That would be a first and goal. So here we go. The Apaches break huddle. Their senior quarterback, Wyatt Puffenberger, under center. Pitch back. They're going to try to throw it. Nothing doing. Timbrook's in trouble. He gets across the 20, and he's brought down at about the 17-yard line. So third down from the 17-yard line, and they'll spike it.
5 seconds.
So 5 seconds left. That'll bring up fourth down, I believe. And they're going to attempt a field goal here. They'll be kicking from the 25-yard line, so about a 35-yard attempt here. And they fumble the snap. The holder is off and running, trying to do something. He throws the ball, and it's incomplete.
Still worth a try.
Luke Breininger, number 1, was the holder. He got the snap, bobbled the hold, took off, and tried to make something happen. Nothing did, but at least he gave it a shot. And that's the end of the first half. And your halftime score here at the reservation at Fairview High School, it's the Hicksville Aces 8 and the Fairview Apaches 0. We're going to step aside. We've got halftime entertainment coming your way. And, of course, they'll be back with you with all the second-half play-by-play coming up right here on HIX-TV.